Hello world! This is your Alan Silver together with Ms. Hazel Chodoro. Welcome to the Group 6 Comprehensive News Report. Bringing you I and the News of Letter for Monday, April 18, 2022. For the headlines, inquiry letter are written for the purpose of asking from the recipient. Let's hear from Ms. Tropa for the updates on the types of inquiry letter. Ms. Tropa?
The types of inquiry letter. First is solicited letter. You write a solicited letter of inquiry when a business or agency advertises its product or services. For example, if a software manufacturer advertises some new package that they've developed, you can inspect it locally and write a solicited letter to that manufacturing asking a specific question. So, if you cannot find any information of the technical subject, an inquiry letter to company involved in that subject may put you on the right track. So, in fact, the company may supply much more help than you had expected. They will provide, of course, that you write a good inquiry letter. If you need to find the names, address of business related to your report project, you should identify the purpose to obtain help or information. If it's a solicited letter, information about an advertised product, services, or program. Next is unsolicited. So your letter of inquiry is unsolicited if the recipient has done nothing to prompt your inquiry. For example, if you read an article by an expert, you may have further questions or want more information. So you seek help from these people in a slightly different form of inquiry letter. So as the steps and guidelines for both types of inquiry letters show, you must construct the unsolicited type more carefully because recipients of unsolicited letters of inquiry are not ordinarily prepared to handle such of inquiry. So, unsolicited letter identify who you are, what you are working on, and why you need the requested information and how you found out about the individual. In unsolicited letter also, it identifies the source that prompt your inquiry. For example, a magazine advertisement. So, next. There are three primary categories of inquiry letter. First is status. Status inquiries are typically sent to request references or recommendations. And the next is routine inquiries. Routine inquiries are letters written to an individual or a company for the purpose of gathering specific information. And lastly, the sales-related inquiries are written to a company or individual to obtain information about the product or service and may be the first step of collecting information for a report. So let's proceed to the components of the inquiry letter. So there have the three components in inquiry letters. First is introduction, second is body, and lastly the conclusion. So the part in the introduction, the purpose of the introduction is to provide your audience with the basic information of who, what, and why. So in this part, you need to introduce yourself and where you are from, like in the first here, and you provide a statement of purpose and It includes some subtitle flattery, but only if the purpose is not sales related. And next is the body. It provide The purpose of the body is to provide the recipient with the inquiry, what you want from him or her, and what you will do with that information. In a sales inquiry, you might include the dimension of the product, quality, price, availability, discounts rate, return rate, service terms, or any other pertinent informations. And if you are sending an inquiry for information, you will list no more than 5 questions, as you can see here in the example and later. And in the conclusion functions to establish goodwill and express gratitude. Like thank the recipient for his for his or her time and consideration. You are not thanking him or her in advance. Instead, you are thanking him or her for the time she spent reading the letter and considering your inquiry. So it also includes any permission you may need for quoting him or her in your work. So if you are seeking the information, and that is, you can provide your contact information like the address, email, phone number, and that's all. And this is the other example. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you for the interesting and informative presentation. The next is claim letter. We all know that claim letter is designed for the customer to write their complaints for the seller about the product we bought. To discuss more, here is Ms. Janelle Scade's presentation.
Good day everyone. I am Janelle Kaday and I am going to discuss how to write a claim letter. What to include in a claim letter? First is product details. This includes the product, name, value, shipment date, and shipment number. Second is writer details. This includes your name, address, account number, order number, and order date. Third is recipient details. What is the supplier's name? Do you know their address? And fourth is subject. The subject is the main reason you are writing. It makes up most of your letter's body. After introducing the case, explain the defect with your product. Why are you sending it back? Then inform the reader of what you would like them to do. This is where you request a refund or replacement. And lastly, supporting documents. Attach and mention in your letter any documents is that prove your claim. This should prevent any back and forth. So there are 5 types of claim letter. So I've chosen one as my example to demonstrate how to write a claim letter. What is damaged goods? A claim letter for damaged goods is a formal document sent to a supplier, shipper, or insurance company. Ordering goods can be gamble. You always expect to receive quality products which represent value for your money. However, this is not always the case. A supplier or shipper could deliver damaged or insufficient goods. When this happens, you can inform them of their error through a claim letter. So, how to write a claim letter? First date, March 30, 2021. Supplier's name, Timothy Gregorio, and supplier's address is Happy 11 Hypermart, Woodlands Avenue, Palmera Home Road, Antipolo City, Rizal 1870. Order date, JKL1290. Next is salutation. Dear Mr. Gregorio. Third is the body. I am writing in regards to a recent order I received from your company. Unfortunately, the 500 antique cups I ordered from Happy 11 Hypermart arrived damaged on 20 March 2021. The cups which were to be delivered on 18 March 2021 arrived on time. However, 100 of them were either partially chipped or completely broken. I have attached some pictures of the damage I am writing to request a prompt replacement of the cups. Kindly ensure they are shipped to the provided address in perfect condition. If this is not possible, I would like to reimburse in full, including shipping costs. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me directly, rachelreyes@gmail.com, in case of any query. Also, arrange the return of this shipment and the delivery of the next. I appreciate your quick response and thank you in advance for the effort. Looking forward to your reply. So, in the body of a claim letter should explain the problem and justify the request by documenting the facts logically, objectively and unemotionally, by providing specific details about what went wrong and by avoiding blame and accusations. And fourth is closing. Sincerely, signature Rachel Reyes. So in the closing is, don't forget to end your complaint letter with the closing salutation such as yours sincerely or sincerely, and to leave sufficient space for your signature, usually 3 lines. So that's the end of my presentation, and these are my references. Thank you. Have a great day.
Third headline: Sales letter is a piece of direct mail which is designed to persuade the reader to purchase a product or a service in the absence of salesman. Miss Queenie, what are the updates on the 3 types of sales letter? Miss Queenie?
Types of sales letter. So first, I have your introductory sales letter. Second is product update sales letter. And the third one is setting incentive sales letter. So let us proceed to the format or how to write a sales letter for a while. Okay, so I have here a format of writing a sales letter. So as you can see here, the headline or the heading, which is the following format is, you can see there the from and the to. So here, from is the name of the writer of the sales letter as well as the company product, and to is the name of the where the letter it can send, and as well as the designation or the address of the company and the company of the recipient. And so let's proceed to the date. So in date, you can see there the when the letter written, and let us proceed to the greetings and salutation. So here, the greeting salutation, you can see there the dear sir or mom, and let's proceed to the introductory product. So here in the introductory product, you can see there the about the product and what the product is about, or the information about the product, about their benefits, the product itself, and for the second paragraph is the launch. And the launch is the company launch, or the sales of the company, or the sales of the product that the company want to show you. And let's proceed to the contacts and details. Here you can see there the emails or the numbers of the sender or the writer of the sales letter in here part. And this closing and salutation is, you can see there the expectation of a positive response in the closing salutation. And the last one is the signature. Lastly is the signature of the writer of the letters. So here are the following format that we can follow, and I will show you here the example of a letter. You can see there the heading part, the name, the address, and the date. And to where you're going to send the letter. Here, these are the heading part, and the greeting part is, Dear Mr. Marlon, these are my following letter. These are the example of my letter. And the introductory part, and the second part as well, and the closing salutation, and as well as the greetings also, or signature part. So here is my example sales letter. So this is my example of my sales letter. So that's all. Thank you.
That was a very informative presentation from Ms. Vasquez. The last letter for this hour will be adjustment letter. It is used to respond to the claim letter that is sent by a customer to the company. Mr. Stein Michael Asulat will give more information.
Different types of an adjustment letter. The first one will be the letter for granting an adjustment. So how we do this one? Letter granting adjustment when the seller grants full adjustments to the claims assuming he is at fault. Then it is called adjustment granting letter. In this letter, the seller frankly admits his fault and assures the buyer that such problem will not arise in the future. Nevertheless, sellers will occasionally grant a buyer's claim even though the buyer or the third party is at fault. Alright, be mindful from that. The second one will be the letter refusing adjustment from the word refusal, refuse. When a claim is refused, assuming the buyer is at fault, is called an adjustment refusing letter. The third one will be letter offering a compromised or a partial adjustment. Though this letter, a compromise, is offered in order to maintain good relation or avoid litigation, this letter is written when there exist some differences of opinion about the standard or the services or quality of goods, or when some fault was outside the control of either both party. Alright. Next one, for the fourth one, will be the letter apologizing mistake. This letter is about expressing regret for the customer's inconvenience and thanking him for pointing out the error. And the fifth one is about letter offering an adjustment on the assumption is dissatisfied. If any customer is dissatisfied with the company, he may not stop billing for their order to the company. Therefore, the seller writes this letter offering an adjustment of previous claims and thus maintains a business relationship with him. Last but not the least is the letter informing the customer that cause of error is being investigated. In some cases, the final adjustment decision cannot be made until the seller determines who is responsible for the mistake. In this case, an interim reply is sent to the customers informing that his claim is under investigation. Through this letter, the seller neither grants nor refuses the claim. Alright, so be mindful from these types of an adjustment letter. So what are the format of an adjustment letter? So these are the things that we need to consider while writing an adjustment letter. These are the very important points to be taken in our consideration in doing your adjustment letter. The first one is organized material. It is very important. All the previous correspondence between the client and the seller, his complaint copy, company policies regarding to the complaint featured, any other relevant documents or whatever it is, should be first obtained and organized by the writer. The second one is about the admittance of a mistake. Admitting your mistake. It is about if your company is at fault, immediately accept mistake and proceed to rectify the mistake. The customer demands if rationale should be completed. The third one should be positive reply. Positive reply. We need to sympathize with your client. Listen to his or her woes and maintain positive tone and attitude toward the client to ensure the satisfaction of the customer. Fourth one is diplomacy. When a client is not right and his demands are not justifiable, then the sellers need to be diplomatic so that even after refusal, your client remains satisfied. Explain the policy of their company and terms and conditions in layman language so that customer can easily understand your terms and conditions. Talk politely and don't refuse bluntly and rudely. Okay? And the fifth one would be politeness. Politeness is a virtue, we know that. Because it is encouraged, we encourage by all the customer care services. Even when your client is at fault, you need to satisfy him while also maintaining your stance. In this respect, politeness comes in handy. A polite reply goes along in promoting the company's reputation and name. Sixth one is the letterhead. An adjustment letter and claim letter should be officially endorsed by the companies, such that they should have a letterhead on top. And the seventh one would be the proofreading. Always proofread the letter, so save your company's embarrassment in front of the client. Facts should be checked, correlated with the system's property. Alright, so let's go now with how to write an adjustment letter. So these are the things that should be in your letter. The name of the sender, the sender's address, the date, the recipient's name, and the recipient's address. The subject or reference, the salutation, the body of the letter, subscription, signature, full name, and enclosure. So I have here one of the example of an adjustment letter, which is about this letter is letter granting adjustment. The seller grants full adjustment to the claim of the client or the customer. So let's get started with this. So the first one is the name of the sender, which includes her first and last name, and also the sender's address. Also, the most important one, the date, the recipient's name, which is your company, which is Centerville Light Corporation. London would be the recipient's address or the address of your company. And also be mindful from this, the reference or the subject. It is a must to know this more. And the most important one also is the salutation, which is about who you are addressing this one. Okay, next is about the body or the salutation. And this is the body of the letter. Be mindful, class, while writing the body of the letter. It should contain an acknowledgement of the company, an apology in behalf of the seller to the customer. You can also sympathize with the client for the inconvenience caused to the client. Also be mindful from this, it should be part of the body of the letter. It consists of the details of the goods services provided to the customer by the seller. So let's read the body of the letter here. This is the reference to your complaint dated last 12 of February 2022. We are very sorry that there is a broken light bulb that had been delivered to your address. We take these things very sincerely and can sympathize with you for the inconvenience caused due to us. So it contains the acknowledgement of the letter and the complaint, and also the apology from the seller. Next line is, in the meantime, we would like to replace your light bulb with a brand new light bulb of the same product and the same brand with no shipping cost to you. Our delivery boy will come and collect the defective product and deliver a brand new light bulb. Right? So we could see here also the details with the goods and services that we provide as a seller to the customer. And also here, we would like to gift you a $100 gift card which can be used in any store for the inconvenience caused due to us. We hope you will continue shopping with us. So also on the latter part of the body of the letter, there is a final paragraph in this rectification, the complaint of the customer. So we're able to help the customer for the complaint and also give her a gift card for $100. Okay, so let's go now with this. Thanking you. This is a subscription. Yours sincerely is the signature, and also be mindful of the full name under the signature. Be mindful of the first and the last name. Last but not the least is the enclosure. So what is an enclosure, by the way, guys? It is a document that should be attached in the letter, if any. So it must be specified also. Okay, it is a document that you need to attach for. So that ends of my discussion for the adjustment letter. Thank you and have a great day. Bye bye for now. And this is my resources, by the way.
And that's all for today's news. Once again, I am Hazel A. Chodoro,
I am Micaela T. Silver.
together with the team delivering comprehensive news today. Have a great day.